Hello, hello, hello. Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And we are going to start today. Patricia Hauser, like I said, stampinwithpatricia@outlook.com. If you need to email me, Stampin' with Patricia, no spaces, on Facebook. You can search for that or look for the link down below. The link is for the email and my website as well. But this is the host code for February 2022. If it is beyond that and you're wanting to place an order, be sure and contact me at outlook.com, stampinwithpatricia@outlook.com, so that I can give you the current host code. The reason you want to do that is if you are placing an order, you would like to be in the drawing to be the host for that month, unless your order is over $150, and then you're your own host. Also, I'm creating a new series, Stampin' or Welcome to Stampin'. So do a search on that on YouTube, and you'll be able to find that. Now, this is the card that we're going to make today, and it's just a very, very simple card. It uses a fair number of supplies, but this is the card that we're going to use, and I'll show you the supplies that we're going to use as we go through. I have this one started, and I have this one somewhat started, but just so that, you know, we can see them and use them as if we need them. All right, this is the current mini catalog. It goes through June 2022. This is the current annual catalog that goes through April 2022. If it is beyond those dates and you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like these catalogs, be sure and let me know. It is also the last few days of the celebration. That is our big, big sale that we have every year. And you can get free items with that, with a $50 or $100 purchase. So let's hop right in and get this card started. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Stampin' Cut Emboss Machine over. Notice that I could have this closed. Of course, I'm going to use it, so I need to have it open. The reason I show you that is because it has a really nice, small footprint. The card that we are going to make uses the slim card dies and the slim card, what am I trying to say? The slim card something, stamp set. I'll show you those in a minute. All right, I need to move this a sec. Let me start over. Okay, so I have an 8.5 by something piece of black cardstock. It doesn't really matter exactly how big it is, as long as it is somewhat bigger than the die. But I can do several things with this now. I'm going to lift, let me show you I'm going to lift this up. Well, if I can hold on to it. And I am going to place this. Now, what I'm using right here, oops, I got it a little crooked, no big deal, is this. It is my adhesive sheets. Now, I have not even done any of the ones I've already cut with the adhesive sheets, but I'm going to show you how to do it so that if you decide you want to do it with the adhesive sheets, that you will know how to do it. So just place this on there, and it doesn't matter that I have this little bitty strip and that I didn't get this one exactly right, because all I want is that the majority of my die has those adhesive strips on there. So now let's bring back in our Stampin' Cut Emboss Machine, and let's layer it up. I've got my base plate 1, my shim 2, my 2 cut plates at 3, and I actually use this one that you can see here as my do not cut plate. I mean my cut plate. You can see that I've cut all over it. This one, however, I use as my do not cut plate. Now you can see I have cut into it. It's no big deal, or somebody has cut into it. But the idea is that it is, for the most part, not cut into. I almost showed you that wrong. Okay, so I am going to cut into my paper with the adhesive sheet on the back, and I want to put this on the front. Be sure you put this on the correct side. I almost put it on the other way. And then I'm going to slip it in my machine, and I want to line this up so that it's completely on. There's a little lip there, and I want to be on my on my cut plate. So I want to be sure that it's completely on that die cut plate, or as I said, cut plate. And then I'm going to place this on top, put them into my machine, and crank it through. And of course it's rolling because, there we go, because I have it on the paper rather than having it directly on the desk. Sorry it's shaking there. This is not a terribly sturdy table. I am at school. Don't worry about cracks and stuff like that. It's no big deal. Okay. Fold that up and put it away. And then I'm going to pull this off. Okay. And it comes out, as a matter of fact, it comes out so well it stays in the... Okay, so what I'm going to do is just knock all these out. And I'm going to save these because I can do these on a card that is not the one that I'm doing today. And knock all these out. See how they all come out? And I'll just save these and use them somewhere else. Don't want to throw all that away. Besides, you're throwing away all that adhesive. And, whoops, got two more little bitty bits down here. And they just pop out. There we go. All ready to go. I'm going to set that aside with the Stampin' Cut Emboss Machine. And again, this is the Slim Card Dies. There are other things in it. This one, I haven't used that one yet. I'm excited to use that. And then these two edge pieces, which will be fantastic. All right, set that aside. Move my little cutouts. And then I need the front of my card. So, what I'm going to do, I have here somewhere. Where is, okay, maybe I don't. We are going to cut our base. And of course, I did not bring my paper trimmer over. All right, so what we want for our base is, it's going to be 7 inches or 3.5 inches across. So I'm going to cut at 7, which means I need to pull my arm out and drop my cardstock. And you use whatever cardstock works for the designer series paper that you're using, or maybe you even create your own designer series paper. But I've put it in here at 7 inches, and if I do like this, my cutter is right in the middle. I can just push it down and go either direction. But before I cut, I needed to make sure this was up against that edge so that my paper is straight. And it was. So there we go. All right, I'm going to pull this out. Now I can also put this at 3.5 while I've got it here and not cut. So I want to move the cutting blade out of the way, but now I want to score. So just score that right in the middle. Makes it nice and easy to fold. And there we go. Okay. Once I have it folded, then I can take my bone folder and give it a nice crease so that it will lay flat. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to take off these bits. Okay, so I'm just going to get it started and pull them off. And now, oh, I almost forgot, I'm not quite ready to do that. I want to take my background piece, and now each of these I'm going to have to peel off. Oh no, it did catch. Good, I thought I was going to have to pull them off individually. So I'm gonna, well, the rest of them I'll have to pull off individually. It's a little sticky, so it's, you know, just because I didn't get it all the way to that edge. But as you can see, they come off very easily. I'll show you here in just a second the paper that I used, the designer series paper. But since I've got this started, let's go ahead and put this on there. Okay, so it's nice and ooey gooey sticky. I'm going to start in a corner and lay this out. Once you have it started, it sort of just lays itself out there. There we go. And there we go. Now, that's the easy way to do that. I could, though, with just the black like this, I can take and put little dabs of glue all around, and if I had one already cut, I'd show you that. It's so easy to do, but it's also really nice to have that designer series paper on there, because then you don't have to worry about glue. Every little bit of it has, now you'll notice right here, it's a smidgen bit up, which means, no, it just means that I didn't cut it exactly right. Okay, let me show you the paper I used for this. It is the Expressions in Ink, and this paper right here in front is the one that I used, and I cut off this edge, as you can see, and it was somewhere around in here, or, oh, I put it on wrong. I meant to put it on this side. C'est la vie, right? Whoops, I must have. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe I cut it from a different piece. But it doesn't really matter, whichever side. I love both of them. And the only reason I really liked the other side is because, as you can see here, it's got these little gold bits in it. But I could even put myself some little gold bits on here. You know, I almost want to do that. To do it, you would use... let me see if I can get it. Oh, it's down in the little cup holder and I can't get it out. The gold flakes. Ah! They're down in there, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, let's go ahead and put this on our card base. And by the way, I cut this out at, let's see, was it 3 1/4? We'll measure it here in just a sec. There we go. Our card is more than halfway done. All right, now I'm going to take my sentiment and I am going to use Versamark ink. And you are one of a kind. I have it on my block. This is, somebody asked me the other day what the card block, this is H that I was using. Okay, so I'm going to put that with my Versamark ink right there. Okay. Now, I could, this will eventually dry, but as you can see, it is there. But what I'm going to do is put some gold embossing powder on it. Okay, so I put it on there. And we're just going to slide it right back in there. There we go. I did not use an embossing buddy on there, so I have a little bit of extra. Okay, so I think we're good there. Okay, and we're going to take that and my heat gun. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up to 2. It's not too terribly loud. I want to let it get nice and hot. And then I'm going to melt that powder so that it sticks on my card. And it's slightly raised, as you can see. I can tell as it is melted because I can see it gets nice and shiny. And there we go. It's done. That little Y right there. Okay, sometimes I do from the back as well. And we're done. There we go. Now I'm going to take my dies that I just had here a second ago. Where did they go? This is what happens when you record this thing like 3 times. It might be 4. Okay, oh, here they are. All right, and then what I did is I decided on, these are one of those essentials in your crafting room, TAILOR-MADE tags, and I'm going to use the one, I think it's this one, yes, that fits right around my sentiment. Okay, so it's the second one down, and I am going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, mostly because I just can't resist. It's so cool. And because I'm using the mini, I do need to cut this a little bit smaller so that it will fit. And see, it won't fit right there, but I don't want to get too close to where it's going to cut. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to put this on, and I use my plates, which I know are here somewhere. I have plates for it as well. Mind you, when you buy a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, be it the mini or the regular size, it comes with all the plates you need. And I just got myself a new one, and so that's why these plates look so clean. And the reason I bought a new one is so that I could have one at school and one at home. But this is your base plate, and it shows you exactly how to use it, 1, 2, and 2. And again, it doesn't matter which one you use as what, but I'm going to put it on there. Now, if I decide that that thing could move around a little bit, I can use a sticky note to hold it in place. And I don't want this to move once I start cranking it through. So I'm going to use a well-loved sticky note. Hopefully it'll hold. And I'm going to slip this in there and we'll roll it through. Okay, hope it didn't move. Again, sorry it's shaking the table. There we go. Pull that out. And there is my little tag. Is that not just the cutest thing ever? I love that thing. Okay, let's fold this up. Get it out of the way again. Pull this in. Get rid of our other junk pieces. We're not throwing those away. Those are good to use. Just need to get them out of the way. All right. Get everything out of the way. There we go. We've got our card here. We've got our little tag. And we are going to put some dimensionals on the back of our tag. Like this. Now, you've got to decide, where do you want it? Do you want it, you know, here, here? Where do you want it? Now, you'll notice on the other one that I did, I put it over here on the left. And the reason I put it there was because I wanted to cover up some of this white. So I might do the same here. But notice how I've got my arrows going up and down. It doesn't matter. It's a matter of personal preference. That absolutely does not matter. So I'm going to peel my backings off. And I think we're going to go right about there. I want to be sure I get it, oops, straight up and down. Or I could entirely put it at an angle, but because of all the angles of the background, I think I'll just... All right, there we go. Then we're going to put on a piece of ribbon. So we're going to pull out some. Now what I do is I just make 2 little bunny ears and fold them over and make my little bow. And then I adjust it before I cut it. as much as I can. Like that. There we go. And then cut it so that I don't waste too much ribbon. It's not that the ribbon is terribly expensive, but I don't want to waste it. Plain and simple. Okay, there we go. Then I am going to use a glue dot. So I'm going to open this up, get a little glue dot, pick it up on the back of my ribbon, and make it look like it goes through the little tag. And there we go. Now, you know I always say decorate the inside of your card, and I decided since I was using this paper that I then wanted to use this stamp set, Artistically Inked, because those are a group, they go together, and I am going to use this one. No, I'm not. You know what? I think I want this flower. Okay, so I'm going to take this flower, I'm going to take my ink, and since I used black on the front, I'm going to go ahead and use black on the inside. My flower can be black. You know, if you've ever watched NCIS, Abby, she always wanted black flowers for her birthday. Isn't that kind of the funniest thing? But that's what that makes me think of. Okay, so I want to close this before I get ink all over everything. Okay, and I'm going to put myself a nice little flower right there. Almost looks like a mistake, doesn't it? Oh, I love it though. So I could, if I had my Magenta Madness ink out here, I could stamp a dot in the center of it, like using this one, and maybe I will, and I should put a leaf in there, but for now I'm going to leave it like that. I actually kind of like that. Okay, there we go. Now the next thing is, of course, our envelope. Now Stampin' Up! Does have envelopes for the Slimline cards. Mine have not come yet, so I pulled out a couple of envelopes from my stash at home that I use for business. Now this one I wouldn't want to use unless I put it in there like this. Now that might be kind of cute. I kind of like that idea. Probably won't, but I do kind of like the idea. And then stamp something on this, and then I could even use the same stamp, but I would probably put a leaf in the inside flower, or the inside little bit. All right, there we go. Our card is done. Looks pretty cool. And we've got the inside. I could put a sentiment on the inside as well, whatever works for you. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. YouTube loves it when we get those thumbs up. They also love it when you give us comments and share our videos. So if you would do any of that, I would so totally appreciate it. Have a good one. Do look for another video here of the village coming soon. And have a good one wherever you are. And happy stamping.